What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and today we're doing an unboxing and review of the Dart Zone Magnum. This thing has been dubbed as possibly the best blaster of 2016, so it's got a lot to live up to, and we'll definitely be putting it to the test today. But right off the bat, it comes with a 40-round drum. That is crazy, insane capacity. So that is a definite positive. It comes with 40 darts, which is also awesome. And this whole thing costs retail $20, and I paid, I think, like $15 or maybe even less than that. I can't remember. But it was on sale, so on sale of $20, which is an amazing deal, obviously, for a blaster that comes with so much. But some of the other features, they have what they call auto advance rapid fire, which is basically in Nerf terminology slam fire. So you can hold the trigger and just slam fire it, which is awesome, especially when you have 40 rounds to do it with. It's supposed to get up to 80 feet, which is crazy ranges, and we'll put it to the test out on the range here in a little bit. Back of the box, it has a dual firing mode, which is basically single fire and then slam fire like we were talking about. It does have an actual trigger, unlike the other blaster that came out. I think it's the Legend Fire or something like that. If I'm wrong, I'll write it down here. Bought that blaster also, so if you want a review on that, let me know. If not, I probably won't do one on that one, but we'll see. So it says magazine anchor unscrews to load drum. So I don't know if that means that you can easily remove this drum to load it and replace it with another drum. I'm hoping that's the case, but we'll definitely take a look at that. Without any further ado, let's open this thing. So one thing before I open it that I thought was kind of funny is the darts actually are sticking out so far that this is pushed out. That's how many darts are in there. But let's get this thing out of the box. Okay, so you get your blaster, you get your 40 darts, and this humongous drum. Alright guys, this thing is pretty sweet. It is very light considering it has this humongous drum. It's pretty easy to wield, it seems like. And I'm not even sure what to consider this. Is this a pistol? Is this a primary? I mean, I would have to say it's a primary. I can't see anybody holstering this and making it a secondary with a drum of that size. Like, that's kind of impossible. But one thing right off the bat that I noticed is this thing is very weird to me. I don't think there's really any need for it. I think it's just kind of a gimmick. So I think if I use this thing, this will be coming off, and I know a lot of my friends that use this blaster have just taken this part off because it's kind of pointless. One other thing I noticed when loading up these darts is the foam seems to be pretty tight in these barrels, so it has a really good dart fit. Some of the tolerances of the thicknesses of the dart was varied a little bit, but other than that, I feel like it was, you know, a pretty darn good dart fit. There's also the thing that ratchets through here, which is kind of weird because it actually is touching the dart. So I'm not really sure how that works. It's kind of probably hard to see, but it's up in here, and I'm not sure if I like that because I could see that could bend your darts possibly. But that's just something I've noticed. We'll have to see when we test this out outside and shoot it for a little while. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and fire off a few shots just for fun. That has some power, guys. That definitely has some power. Wow. That's powerful. That's pretty promising, that's for sure. Another thing to note is I don't believe the drum, without modification anyways, can be removed. I think once you have it locked in there the first time, it's going to be set. I think they were just talking about on the box that you have to put in the drum, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of misleading in my opinion. But I think it would be pretty easy to mod this thing so you could remove the drums. But that's for another day. But yeah, let's go ahead and shoot off some slam fire, see how that works. I can already tell you, I mean, I don't use slam fire that much because the ranges are just awful and the accuracy is just awful. So I don't use it that much, but it is there for people that enjoy that. Yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. I'm impressed with the power. The plastic is a little bit flimsy. It's definitely not as solid as a Nerf blaster and Nerf plastic, in my opinion. But you know, that can be part of the reason why it's a little bit cheaper. Like if Nerf made something like this, it would be probably $35 at least. So it's basically half the price of what a Nerf blaster would be if they did something like this. And they don't have anything like this. They don't have a 40-round dart drum, anything. So this is pretty sweet. It's basically a humongous strong arm, which is pretty awesome. And I mean, if the strong arm had 40 shots, it would be pretty good. But I think this might even have more power than a strong arm, so even better. I can't wait to put this thing out on the range and put it over the chronograph and see what it's got. I even really like the detailing of the blaster too. I mean, it's got some neat, geary kind of sci-fi kind of feel. I'm sure this would paint up really nicely. You can make it look really cool. Another thing that you might have noticed is when you prime it, the bar comes out, which I'm not sure if I really like the aesthetic of that, but you know, I guess that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really get in the way. You just obviously don't want to bend this or something when it's primed. But it's pretty obvious to know when it's primed. You know, you don't have to look at a priming indicator or anything like that. So that's good. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this thing right off the bat. I mean, there's a few little things that are a little weird, but I think it's a pretty cool blaster. And let's go ahead and take it outside and see what it's got. Okay, guys, we actually have a really nice day on this January afternoon. I mean, it's almost 60 degrees here in Indianapolis, which is crazy, but should be good to get some great readings on the chronograph here. So let's go ahead. I got a few different types of darts here. We'll test out, I guess, some different ones. We'll start with the ones they came with, and then we'll move to some of the knockoff waffle or honeycomb tip darts that are supposed to be super accurate, and they are pretty accurate, and then the just normal elite darts. Here we go. 74, 78, 79, 81, 82, 81. This is impressive, guys. 80. Oh, that was an error. All right, see how it does with these. 56. Doesn't like these as much. Duplicate 56. 34. Huh. Doesn't really like these darts for some reason. We'll try one more. 57. So not as good with those darts. We'll see what they do on the range, actually, just to compare. Let's do some elites now. 84. 79, or 78, sorry. 79. 66. 77. All right. I think that gave us some good readings. They're upper 70s there to, you know, 80-ish range, especially with the darts they came with. So that's pretty impressive. Definitely a little above elite range or elite FPS, and we'll put it on the range now. Here we go. Level. Yeah, I can tell it just does not like those darts at all. So these are a no-go for this blaster. We'll go ahead and just skip to the elites. Oh, we went. No breeze today, guys, just so you know. I think one more. Elite. Cool. Oh yeah, that goes. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fun. Wow. Those guys went far. Let's take a look at what we got here. So, shortest one here is an Elite Dart at 36 feet, maybe just short of that. And then we have another Dart here. It's a Dart Zone Dart, just short of 37. We have another Elite right at 39. And Dart Zone at about 48 inches. A couple more Elites here, a little past 42 feet. And another Dart Zone at 44, another one over there at 44, a little past 45 at Dart Zone, up here at 47. Two Dart Zones, 48 feet, a little past that maybe. I think the average for the Elites and Dart Zone darts went approximately the same ranges. One Elite went up there about 54 feet, but I'd say the average is around here about 46, 47 feet. And then the angled shots, man, they went forever far. You can get some range if you put a little angle on these. And we have the majority, well, they all probably went between past 90, about 94 feet here is the shortest ones. And then, so almost 100 feet. This is slightly downhill at this point, but nevertheless, that's pretty impressive. You know, close to 100-foot ranges with angled shots. Okay, let's see what kind of ranges we get with slam fire here. Jammed. Perfect. This is why I hate slam fire. Alright, my final thoughts on the blaster. I think it's a really good blaster. I think it's well worth the $20 MSRP. If you can find it cheaper than that, even better. But it's not perfect. And in my opinion, it's definitely not the best blaster of 2016 like a lot of people were saying. I really hate it when my blaster jams, and it didn't jam when I was single firing it, but if you go too fast, if you try to use this slam fire or rapid fire, what they call it, mechanism, it jams very easily. It's basically unusable in my opinion, and you can see that in the firing demonstration. I mean, it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to get used to it. Maybe there's some mods that can be done to make that better, because I really think that a lot of it has to do with this flap here, which I don't really know what the purpose is. It's some sort of dart tooth, I guess, but it's a sideways dart tooth thing. I don't know. I don't really like that. I'm not sure if you can take that out or not. Definitely something that I should look into. And this part here, I think this is absolutely pointless. It flops around. It kind of just gets in the way, and I really don't like that either. I feel like the slam fire mechanism probably would work better too if the plastic wasn't so flimsy. Now, I think that's very minor, and I'm not sure that's really a big part of it, but I wish the plastic was a little higher quality. But overall, I think it's a great blaster. I think it's well worth what it's MSRPing at. I just wish it would work a little bit better. And it's very picky with darts. It did not like the honeycomb tip darts. Who knows what other darts it won't like. It worked pretty well with Elite darts, and it worked pretty well with, obviously, the darts it came with, unless you're using slam fire. So, I don't know. I think it's a, you know, a good blaster, but not an amazing blaster like a lot of people say it is. That's just my opinion. The grip is a little small and not as comfortable as I'd like. I don't know what I was hitting my hand on, but it was sharp in some parts. Minor gripe, but you know, for the best blaster of 2016, I just don't see this being it. I think it's got a really good capacity. I think it's definitely useful. It's got great power, but it also has its problems, like most blasters do. No blaster is out of the box perfect, but you know, people were hyping this up to be just something amazing, and I think it's good. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm not saying it's a bad blaster. I just think it's not my favorite of 2016. Maybe I'll do a top 5 2016 blasters and tell you what my favorites are, but if you want to see that, let me know in the comment section, and I'll do one. Nevertheless, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this review, please subscribe. Hit that bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications. And as always, peace.